Cherry Place. Oh, sorry.
Hi, 603 Cherry Place is a property that we've had problems with in the past. We actually did a cleanup in August of 2014. It cost us the city $3,820.58 total. Currently, none of that has been repaid to the city property owner. This year, we sent a notice on November 9th and another on December 14th. This is a property that it was cleaned up here. And that's after our cleanup. And these are photos of it about a week and a half ago. You can see the debris and unlicensed trailers and campers. These are current photos today, which match the ones without the snow. I don't know if you have any questions. Concerns about the property?
How many different violations does he have there?
Well, just all the debris scattered throughout, and then there's 5 different trailers, 2 trailers and campers.
Okay. So I didn't think we had anything as far as like campers, the amount of campers you can be stored or anything?
Well, if they're licensed.
Is there license? Okay. Okay.
And then the same thing with the trailers, the debris would be an issue regardless.
Okay.
But if the trailers were licensed, current registration on them would be okay.
Okay.
Just starting.
What is the city's recourse if he does not pay, if he continues not to pay?
Right.
He has not paid anything back on the first cleanup, and they don't believe that that's a fine for 5 years.
What we've done in the past is, if the commission approves, the city forces to go in and clean it up. And then we'll bring back a financial report indicating the amount that it costs. And then the city commission would essentially then make a decision on what amount to charge the homeowner to. And then in the past, what we've done is we've given 5 years to pay the amount. If it's not paid at the end of 5 years, then we put it as a lien on the taxes, and then we'll go through the normal process. If it's continued to be delinquent, go to the county, 3 years, until delinquency, then go through the foreclosure process with the county.
And the length and term would be up to the city commission. You have some flexibility there if you want to stay with what we've done in the past or something different.
Okay, and the, go back to the slides on the debris in the property. Those are the conditions as they stand right now. But it's just a crazy question, but now because snow has fallen?
Yep, well, we could, again, what I was going to recommend here is that we give him a couple weeks to put his registration of his vehicles. And then we would authorize a lien up, and as soon as we could feasibly do it, we could take care of the situation. Not until spring, or winter late so far, we might be able to get it done this winter.
Well, I mean, I think winter is here to stay, and it wouldn't be feasible to clean this property with say 1.5 feet of snow on top of the debris.
No, it can be authorized to be cleaned up at our earliest possible convenience to actually take care of it.
I'm sure that other commissioners have already said this, but, you know, the concern is obviously that he's just using the city as his landfill, personal landfill. He creates a mess, we clean it up. He creates a mess, we clean it up. Can we fine him? Is there any legal mechanism, or are we, what can we do?
Finding. Right now, through our process we have in place right now, as Jason had indicated, we define the cost, charge that back to the property owner, give him or her some time to pay it back. If they don't pay it back, right now I don't believe we have a fine in our ordinance that I can recall. So that would have to be probably levied against the property, Michael, as a lien against the property. Ultimately, that property owner would have to either let the property go tax forfeit or pay the fine,
Which could take,
or the other charge. I mean, that could take, you know, a number of
It could
years,
take
depending on how
years.
long. The person would be given to pay that back. And once the lien is on the property, then if they don't pay it, as long as they're paying the property taxes, that lien doesn't kick in. So that could be on there for a number of years.
And
We haven't had that happen yet, but it could happen. That's-
and then my question would be, if you said to him, or property owner, I'm sorry, if you said to the property owner, look what it looked like on 12/9/2015, and he said, well, I started to pick it up. So it would, we would not know if he had started to pick it up until May or June.
we would know. The people that live there would let us know.
Okay,
And we have talked to the property owner.
okay, it's just, okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is there any public comment on this topic? No? I close the public hearing. Moving on, I call the regular meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item B, recording of the roll, please.
All present?
Agenda item C, approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the consent as presented.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the consent agenda. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Burchett?
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to item D, approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Semo to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? All in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, receive and place on file. Number 1, the statement of revenue and expenditures, and the monthly cash report.
Thank you. The reports are part of the agenda packet. They're out shortly thereafter. I hope all the commissioners did receive them and had a chance to look at them. As you probably noticed, the reports are turning a little bit lengthier. However, they are now all computer generated, which makes things a lot easier for me. So it'll help with getting them more timely and also reduce the human error in creating handmade reports. So the revenue expenditure report is in the same format that we've received for the past couple months. I'm not going to go over each page in detail, I'd rather summarize and hit on some of the main larger numbered items. With the general fund specifically, you're seeing the big period fund balance of minus $320,000. And that's really a timing issue as well as some other things. Just to give you an idea, the revenue sharing that we get for September and October hasn't been received yet. It'll be received here at the end of December. So that's $115,000 that's not accounted for in the revenues. As well as November's revenue sharing, about $60,000 that's not accounted for in the revenues to offset that negative. balance. Act 51 monies, November will be received here, it was received in December, recorded in December, so that's not showing. And then there's a couple items that were purchased using fund balance. You'll never see that directly showing as a revenue line item using monies that we had in prior years. Specifically for the fire truck, we used $100,000 of fund balance to purchase the fire truck, as well as $130,000 of fund balance for the Western Gateway Trail project that we had received in prior years and identified for that project. So those amounts in total equal $440,000 of unallocated revenue for November, so that more than offsets that negative fund balance that you're seeing. So it's really a timing issue that you're seeing there. The other funds that I want to just mention are the water fund. This was kind of the same thing that we had last year, but our freeze grant project. We paid out all that money up front, and now we're being reimbursed. We've submitted reimbursement for it, but you're seeing a big negative fund balance of $366,000. $434,000 of that is related to the freeze project. Submitted reimbursement requesting $504,000, a little bit more already, and we're hoping to receive a decision on that here soon. So that once that revenue comes in, you'll see it offsetting that significantly. And some of those expenditures related to the freeze were done, incurred in prior years as well. And then in the sewer grant, there was a small negative fund balance for the period of $21,000, and that's related to our saw grant work. We incurred those expenses in November, right around $20,000, and we received that money here in December, so the revenue wasn't allocated for in December. So those are some of the main things as far as discussion topics. If there's anything else, any other funds that you want me to touch on, I can do that.
You said the SAW grant? I'm unfamiliar with that term.
Also on the bikes, go ahead.
So with the SAW grant, we received a grant from the state of Michigan to go in and basically televise our sewer system, look for cracks in pipes, both on the sanitary and the storm. And it's really a preventative maintenance type grant, and just for identifying issues. I think the amount, correct me if I'm wrong, is around $600,000, somewhere in there.
It was a 100% grant. Like that, I think they have an update on that value of that.
It's one of the modeling, and there's a component to that in asset management. You're televising it, but you also, when you're done, you want to be able to know exactly how many feet of each size pipe, what kind of conditions in, condition of all your catch basins and manholes, whether they're storm or sanitary, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very, very comprehensive project. It was funded 100%. I think 99% of the communities in the state of Michigan over this 5-year period will receive a similar grant to study their storm and wastewater systems. You were lucky enough to receive it. The second year was eligible.
Okay. And so we now have all of that on file, just like a street Pazer system? Where conditions...
We have about, we're meeting 1/3 Commissioner Miller to complete. So on file, you can't quite say that yet, but we're working toward it. I would envision we can probably say that about a year from now.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
One thing I kind of miss, Paul, is the percent budget used number. It'd be nice if you could put a value in there.
On a departmental basis?
Sure, any way you want to break it down.
Yeah, it's by fund.
It's only by fund, okay. I see it now, how you've done it. So that, when we're looking at this, we can say that we're 50% through our budget year, right?
Right now, about 41.8. So
Oh, it's worth 41,
yeah,
okay.
on the top, it's the third line down in the title, 41.8% through November.
All right.
The periodic reporting on to that 41%.
All right.
And then I'm just looking at the general fund here, the front page. At the bottom right of that report, it shows the total revenues percentage received to date and total expenditures spent to date.
Okay.
By fund, until the report comes out, would you like me to to see if we can get it by department as well, or that.
I think the way, now that I see what you're doing, sure. Since it's a different format, it takes me a while to flip it around. I see it.
I concur with Commissioner Semo. If it's not too much trouble, it would be useful just to, but it only if it's not too much trouble.
Okay, I'll check the capabilities of the system.
It's always reassuring to see that we're 70% through the year and we spent 65% of our money. You know, we feel good with numbers like that for some reason.
Yeah, so in the general fund, we're right on target, really, a little bit over. I'd say it's grant related, we're 47.79% general fund total spent, as opposed to the 41.8% target. It's really the timing of our grant, the Western Gateway Trail grant, and a lot of it spent up front in the year, so that project is basically that now.
Now, one other question about fund balance items. You also have items that were budgeted in the previous year and the money wasn't spent yet, and that would show up as a fund balance item as well, wouldn't it? The Aurora survey or the mine safety monies that are in the general fund.
Yeah, so they're sitting in fund balance, and because they're balance sheet items, they're not going to show up on this specific report. So we have the money sitting there to be used. When we spend it, of course, it hits the expenditure account, but there's not an actual revenue.
Exactly.
That's why we're probably going to see that negative number for the rest of our fiscal year, because we don't actually record our revenue for it. We're using fund balance prior year revenues to pay for those expenses.
Right.
So if there's no other questions on the revenue and expenditure report, on the other report, under this line item is the cash balances report. I explained a little bit in the email that I sent out where I attached this report. And this is a totally different format than you're used to seeing. And it's just the way that the program generates this report. Essentially, the ending balances, the column on the far right is all you used to see. And the report shows the beginning balance of the month, total debits and credits, additions, subtractions, and then the ending balance. So it's just reporting on our general ledger cash balances. The only one I'd like to note is just the water fund, water utility fund. We're seeing a negative balance there. Again, that fund is pooled with the remaining, a lot of our other checking accounts that are included in that top portion there. And again, it's related to that CDBG Urgent Need Freeze grant. We spent the money up front, we'll get reimbursed hopefully here soon.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we receive and place on file the 2 reports in item E.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to receive and place on file Statement of Revenue Expenditures in the monthly cash report. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, and opposed? Motion carries. Item F, approval of the monthly check register report.
Thank you. The check register report for the month of October was included in the packet, and if there are any questions, I'd be happy to address them now.
I'll make a motion, we approve the monthly check register report as presented in our packet.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Mildren, to approve the monthly check register report as presented. Discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Bertram?
Yes. Motion carries. Item G, citizens wishing to address the commission on items on the agenda. None. Item H, citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda. None. Moving on to old business, item I, discuss and consider resolution number 015-044, ordering the removal and abatement of the hazard and nuisance at 603 Cherry Place.
Earlier, the public hearing, and has said the registered plates are on them. And if he doesn't provide that, authorize us to clean up the property.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the Public Works Department to clean up the property at 603 Cherry Place 2 weeks from today.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower, to authorize the Department of Public Works to clean up the property 2 weeks from today. Is that implying then accepting this resolution as well?
Sure. And and adopt the resolution 015-044.
Okay, thank you. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Thank you. Item J, discuss and consider awarding the bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 768 East Air Street in the amount of $15,033.95.
All the projects, the next 6 items are being funded through the hardest hit blight grant that the city had received. So far, I'm taking down 16 houses. These would be the next 6 on the list, and then we'll have 5 more to bring back to you later on. You did receive multiple bids for each of these, and each of these are bid separately. You will notice that Snow Country Contracting was a low bid on all of them, and they did successfully take down houses, some other houses into this program the last go-around. And each of the bids are within the budget that we have to work with also.
Are the funds 100% grant funded?
It is 100% grant funded up to a certain dollar amount, and these are well within the dollar amount per property. I think it's $25,000 a property, which goes for different expenses, including the demolition, the environmental removal. But right now, we're well within the $25,000 for each property.
That's wonderful.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid as described in item J.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran, to award the bid to Snow Country Contracting as described in item J. Further discussion?
What's the time frame on cleanup? Did he tell you?
There is in the bid spec, and I have to apologize, I want to say it was 60 days from the date of award. Go back and double check that. Do you remember, Dennis? No?
We give it until June.
Okay.
Middle of June because of the weather now. We're hoping that they're going to be able to do some of the demolitions this winter. That'll depend on how much snow we have. They have until June to do the final thing.
And Dennis, for these projects, these houses, we're looking at, typically it's a couple day, once they get there, it's about a couple days to remove and demolish. So if they do get there, we'd expect they'd get that particular property completed before they would move on to the next one. If they're able to with the good weather.
My concern is just to tear them down in the wintertime and then have a mess in the springtime. I don't know, if June is too late, maybe?
Well, we're not sure, because if they can't take them down during the winter months, there would be weight restrictions. So we want to put it too soon and we couldn't get to these places because of weight restrictions. We better give them that extra time frame. But even with that whole weather, we had one on Mansfield taken down earlier this fall when we had some snow. They got it pretty well cleaned up, put in fill. They just didn't put the topsoil with the seed right away. We have to warm it up a little bit. So what we'd be looking at, if they do it in the winter, they would take the building down, all of the debris out, and put in some sand fill so it's not full. Then in the spring, the topsoil.
I believe too, don't we have like a time frame with this grant when they have to be completed by?
I think it's July.
Okay.
Right, shortly after the completion date here.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item J. Nope. Item K. Discuss and consider awarding bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 122 East Larch Street in the amount of $11,201.19.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid described in item K.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid as described in item K. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildren?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes, motion carries. Item L, discuss and consider awarding bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 350 Silver Street in the amount of $10,422.45.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid described in item L.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid to Snow Country Contracting as described in item L. Discussion? Roll call.
Mildren?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item M, discuss and consider awarding bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 205 Albany Street in the amount of $14,997.15.
I'll make a motion to award the bid described in item M.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid to Snow Country Contracting as described in item M. Discussion? Roll call vote.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildren?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes, motion carries. Item N, discuss and consider awarding bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 110 Rose Street in the amount of $10,454.65.
I'll make a motion to award the bid as described in item N.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid to Snow Country Contracting as described in item N. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildren?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes, motion carries. Item O, discuss and consider awarding bid to Snow Country Contracting for demolition and removal of the structure at 220 Southwest Street in the amount of $7,991.35.
I'll make a motion to award the bid as described in item O.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid to Snow Country Contracting as described in item O. Discussion?
I would just like to add that it sure has been nice having this hardest hit grant to help take down all these properties. This is awesome. So.
Yeah, I was just going to ask one more question. This is the end of this, correct?
No.
There are more? 5 more? What'll be the total?
27. 27, Dennis?
Fantastic. And sooner or later, I'd like to hear the dollar amount of all the demolitions.
Sure.
Nice to know that.
Any further discussion? No? And roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildren?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on. Item P, discuss and consider awarding the skid steer bid to Miller Bradford in the amount of $70,100. Good evening.
Fortunate enough to get, 6 bids from competitors. We are going to ask you to accept the second lowest bid from Miller Bradford. If you read your memo, it's been explained. The difference between the two competitors, competitor 2 and Miller Bradford, is because the durability of the attachments. And because we do take on a lot of work in the winter and summer. We feel that would be the best suggestion that would give us durability of our attachments, because that's what we felt the attachments screen could not perform our work. So we're asking for you to
I'll make that motion to accept the Miller Bradford bid for $70,100.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waldron, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran, to accept the bid from Miller Bradford for the skids in the amount of $70,100. Discussion?
Actually, I have one question for Bob. We're getting a milling attachment. It's 2 feet wide. Is that what it's going to do?
That's correct.
And tell me how much this is going to improve, what kind of difference this will make in our street patching. I just want to know.
It has the capabilities of grinding down from 1 inch to 6 inches. Of course, we'll never go down 6 inches unless it's really a terrible situation. What we will do instead of filling the full patch or other materials, we'll be filling it with hot mix immediately afterwards. Obviously, you can see we did that a few years ago. We rented one from Kino, and they're still down years later after the heavy winter. So we feel it's going to be time consuming in the long run. It's going to keep our roads in much better shape.
Will we be contracting out the hot patch then, or do we do
We
that?
would pick it up ourselves, do that.
We do that. Do you just go to the vendor and get the product? Or how-
Yes.
Just curious. I want to know how this is all going to work.
And weather related, everything, we work with our planner when the hot patching also.
So we should be able to do a lot better job of patching our potholes. It's great stuff.
So, one more question. When most of the streets have been redone, but there were those real small areas with, they were also marked in white, but there were probably a number of them that just didn't fit a certain criteria. So this would be a wonderful machine for doing those.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Yes, and, we did research, the machines, there's so many out there. And the one it's, we take up areas where we can see, you can see where we hashed over years and years, and then 3 weeks later, a race for that. We have the whole back again, we're back over again, time consuming, wasting effort. So this will go there, mill the thing, the whole down, and put hot patch in, and it'll last, as long as it, couple years, maybe longer.
Thank you.
And Bob, there's the opportunity to buy the extended warranty as well, if you wanted to, because I mean, you have a 3-year warranty, but you have probably the opportunity to buy an extended warranty after that time if you would want to, right? Right. Included.
The other, the milling planer, we discussed that with the Miller Bradford. They will start the 1-year warranty the first day of the year. Because we get it now, which we will, in the near future, we'd have 4 or 5 months without a warranty on it. And so we did work on an agreement, and I don't know if we received the letter yet or not, but he said he wrote a letter saying the day of use is when they're going to start the warranty.
That's wonderful.
It is.
Great. Thank you. Would somebody like to entertain a motion?
I think we have one.
We already have one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That was discussion. Thank you. Roll call vote. Thank you.
Milton,
Yes.
Semo,
Yes.
Tower,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to new business, item Q. Discuss and consider request from the Ironwood Industrial Development Corporation to renew a $4,500 debenture bond for an additional period of 1 year at 2.5% interest.
Just a little background on this. The IIDC did obtain a number of debenture bonds many years ago when they were doing some work in the industrial park to help with the industrial park improvements. The city was a part of that, and through the police and firemen's pension fund, put some money into the debenture bonds as a revenue source, basically, to help them out, and they also get interest on that. The IIDC is going through paying off all those debenture bonds as we speak. That's one of their goals that they've had. They have paid this one down partially. They are requesting to extend that out one more year, the remaining balance of $4,500 at 0.5% interest for one more year, with their intention to pay that off in the next year.
Is there a staff recommendation?
The recommendation is to approve the request as presented.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request as presented in item Q.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Mildren, to accept the request as presented in item Q. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item R, consider approval of Rural Development Change Order Number 4 for the City of Ironwood, Phase 3 Utility Project Local to Rootsela Construction LLC in the amount of $94,105.08, and authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents.
Again, the change order is to adjust quantities for our Phase 3 project with Rootsela Construction. And if you look at the list there, it kind of itemizes all the different things that this entails, everything from additional pipe that was put in to additional curbing, fittings, parts, that type of thing. So anything else to add to that, Mike? Any more detail that would be helpful?
Not really, it's a year-end balance and change order. You have the money in your grant loan to cover these expenditures, or this proposed change order doesn't add any additional cost that wasn't anticipated.
And these change orders all fall in the valid scope of the project?
Yes, sir. Additional sidewalk or curb or pipe or exactly. It's a unit price basis. They get paid for the work that they do, a little more work than originally planned.
I'll make the motion to approve the rural development change order in the amount of $94,105.08.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Mildren, seconded by Commissioner Semo, to approve the Rural Development Change Order Number 4 in the amount of $94,105.08, as described in item R.
And authorize the mayor.
And authorize the mayor, okay, thank you, to sign all
I think that has
applicable
to be part of
documents. Okay. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item S, consider approval of rural development pay package in the amount of $31,870.87 for the City of Ironwood Phase 3 Utility Project Water portion, and authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents.
And these are part of the routine progress payments to the contractors. Again, you'll see Rootsela Construction is one, and then we also reimburse the Michigan Department of Transportation for the work that was done on the highway. They let the project, but the water and sewer costs do come back to us. So that's what is reflected here. First one is the water portion, and the next one will be the sanitary sewer part of the project.
I'll make a motion, we approve the pay package described in item S.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran, to approve the rural development pay package as described in item S.
And authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents.
Yes, and to, discussion?
That's kind of built into my motion when I say item S.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes, motion carries. Item T, consider approval of rural development pay package in the amount of $174,489.94 for the City of Ironwood Phase 3 Utility Project Sewer portion, and authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents.
Same discussion. This will be for the sewer part of the project. Again, related to the US 2 project and also Rootsela's construction project on behalf of the city.
Now, how much is left of the project funding after this?
Balance, Mike? I know,
No, the balance of payments that will be due.
there's still a lot of work yet to be done on Rutzela's project with paving. The US 2 project essentially,
Almost done, we still have this claim hanging out with Snow Country, which is unknown, where it'll end up, unknown about where it'll end up. I just got word last week that actually they have a problem with the sewer service on the 2015 highway project. They may have to go back and do a little something there, so that contract remain open. But the dollar amounts are very limited, what's gotta get paid out yet. And then Russell has, basically everything in Nori to pave yet. We agreed because of the Snow Country claims to leave their contract in the area, go to an area, and they have to do settlements in place. I guess I can get a better number for you, at the next meeting, Commissioner Semo and the rest of the commission. But that number is several $100,000, it's not millions.
But there's still a fair piece of money that, to be paid to Rutzela upon completion. We're nowhere near wrapping this up.
Well, it's $100,000, but it does predominantly apply to restoration items, and you get a lot of, thousands of dollars a day in blacktop. And so it won't take long, we would envision that everything be wrapped up by the middle of June on every barring the Snow Country.
I'll make a motion that we approve the rural development pay package as described in item T.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Semo to approve the rural development pay package as described in item T. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Burchell?
Yes. Motion carries. Item U, discuss and consider adopting policy and procedures for the public inspection and copying of public records.
Past summer, the state of Michigan did an audit on the whole county. Came down where they want to have a policy to review the public records. I felt it wasn't needed because I have normal business hours, but they still require us to have a policy. We took a policy that was written up by the state tax commission, and we did our city. And the policy has to be approved by the city commission.
so we do have a FOIA policy, that's already in place, that pretty much dictates how that process works. This is just more inclusive. Someone comes in asking for a record, it would apply to all departments, and how we respond, we document the request to make sure they get the information they're looking for.
Well, we can clearly change this policy if it doesn't work well for us. And I'll make a motion that we adopt the policy as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower to adopt the policy as presented and described in item U. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item V, discuss and consider approving defined benefit adoption agreement, Ironwood Housing carve-out.
Thank you. Just a little bit of background with the city's pension fund for city environment employees, public safety, DPW, admin staff here, as well as the Area Housing Commission. Our funds are all held with MERS as of 2010, and we have 5 or 6 divisions within them. Public safety right now, mainly because their funding sources is different. It comes from the millage as opposed to city funds or housing commission funds. And the divisions are set up based on the benefits received. And those are mainly tied to when employees are actually hired by higher dates. And typically, what's happened in the past, the pension benefits has changed based on data higher. The Hyde Housing Commission employees and retirees are intermingled with the city's general pension groups, which includes the admin staff here, as well as the Department of Public Works. So they're intermingled. And when we get our annual report that says these are our assets and these are our liabilities, as well as our actuarial liabilities, which estimates out our potential liability far out in the future, we can't get an accurate breakdown of those Iron Housing Commission employees. So when we budget for them, we get a breakdown from the report that we get, the actuarial report. It gives a percentage of employer costs, and it breaks it down by division. So they're included with all of our employees and retirees. They're looking for a more accurate picture on how can they fund or break out the cost that's specific to their employees and retirees. And the only way to do that is to take their current employees and their retirees, pull them out of the divisions that they're in and put them into a separate division. So they're not taking them out of MERS, they're not taking them out of the city pension system, they're moving them specifically into a separate division where it's going to show their assets, their liabilities. And it'll also allow them to pre-fund, if they so wish, for their specific division, which has been their intent as communicated by their board. So that's essentially what the carve-out is. We've done this for the library 2 or 3 years back, pulled them out of their divisions that they were in and put them in their own separate library division, so they could essentially budget for their employees specifically. So it's that same process that we're doing, except this time it's for the Housing Commission. The Housing Commission requested this a few years back. It never came to the commission level because the report had requested information that wasn't complete, and the Housing Commission didn't request it again until just recently. So it's our recommendation that we approve the carve-out as stated in the agreement. If there's any questions?
Sounds like it's just basically a bookkeeping thing to make life easier for the Housing Commission.
Correct, yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve the defined benefit adoption agreement described in item V.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran, to approve the defined benefit adoption agreement as defined in item V. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mildren?
Yes.
Berthold?
Yes. Motion carries. Item W, Manager's Report.
Just a few items to touch on. Again, kind of winding up at the end of the year here, but there still is quite a few things going on, preparing for next year. A few events in the area. It is nice to see the cooler weather and a little snow on the ground for the different activities. We do have this weekend the Snowmobile Olympus in town. I think Saturday and possibly Sunday if the ice is good. So again, a really excellent event to have in the area, and brings a lot of really high quality snowmobile racers, top level snowmobile racers into the area. So we encourage everybody to go out and support that race and check out what's going on down at the fairgrounds. Also with the snow, it looks like Sisu is moving forward well. There's snow there that can be tracked now for some cross-country ski trails and the marathon. That's going to be January 9th and 10th. They also have a new event this year, which is Friday. It's a kids event down at the Depot Park. It's called the Depot Dash. It'll be a small race for kids under 10 around the Depot. So it's nice to see these events grow. It started out as a Saturday race, and now we have events on Friday and events on Sunday. They have a snowshoe race on Sunday. So again, another nice event for the community, and brings a lot of people into the area. And just a reminder of the Wednesday snowshoe hikes are starting January 6th at 6:30. The first one will be at the Michigan Visitor Center in the west end of town on US 2. And then every Wednesday thereafter, they have a different location. One project that we don't talk a lot about, but that is ongoing at the city, it's the Community Development Department, the Building Department, Jason, City Clerk, they work on this together as a group. And it's a housing rehab project. Essentially, we get funds through MISHDA to help rehabilitate some houses that are in need. There are certain income level criteria, things like that. But every year they do a few projects. I think this year they're going to complete their 6th house. They have 4 that are done already. They're finishing up 2 more. And it's roughly $100,000, Dennis, in that ballpark. So some really nice improvements for the area and some of the neighborhoods and some of the houses. So that grant funding project will be finished up with the last 2 houses going forward. They have also applied for another grant for the next 2 years. Again, it's a competitive grant, so there's no guarantee, but the city in the past has been successful with these grants. So hopefully we'll have another round of funding to help with some of the houses in some of the areas that are in need. We also received bids last week for some library renovations. They have a grant to help with some of the improvements at the library, tuck pointing, some windowsills that are falling apart, things like that. So we did receive bids. We are working through the State Historical Society to review those bids, and we'll be moving that project forward, and that will ultimately come back to the City Commission for consideration here over the next month or so. Public Works will be starting on snow removal. Again, snow has been a little bit light, but we started some snow removal, and next week, again, all weather dependent, but they intend to be in the downtown area and other areas to start removing some of the snow that is building up, and it sounds like there's more coming on the way. Paul and others have been working on the audit, again, very diligently over the last month. That is pretty much an all-consuming effort when the auditors come in to make sure they get all the data they need so they can complete their review of the city finances. And again, that is underway and should be completed over the next week or so. Is that fair enough to say, Paul? They kind of finished here in the office, now they go back to their office and do their final review and deliberation of the information. And again, I think the process went very well. Anything to add to that, Paul?
Yeah, the process went very well. We came in, 4 or 5 employees here at any given time, so it took up a lot of my time and staff time as well. But they went through it, and it was pretty seamless. Not too many big issues came up. Any questions were basically resolved. So it went very well this year.
And just a reminder that this Thursday and Friday, the city offices will be closed for the New Year's holiday. Thanks.
Thank you. Other matters?
I don't mind going first.
Good.
I know it's made a lot of progress over the last year, actually last several years, so I very much look forward to 2016 and just want to wish everybody a safe and prosperous new year. That's it.
And I would add, just on the 3 items that you brought up, the Snowmobile Olympus, the Sisu, and the Wednesday night hikes. I can remember being a young man in Ironwood, and there were, in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, there were all of the winter festivals that set Ironwood apart and made it a great place to live, from dog sled races to the original snowmobile races that were held to all of these other things, and it's just makes me happy to live here. And I can remember in particular Mayor Al Wright kicking off I wish I could remember the actual name of it, the Winter Festival, for lack of a better name. So I would hope that if there's an opportunity for us, for the mayor, to thank these people for doing these 3 events and some formal kickoff ceremony, that we would take part in that.
Okay.
And Happy New Year. Thank you.
I've got a couple of things. I've been watching the plows go by with the new case loaders and the nice wide plows, and my perception is that it's way easier to plow than it used to be. Is that a fair assessment of the maneuverability of the plows? It just seems like they can just do such a better job. And of course, there's only one guy on the machine.
It's probably easier. There are moments, I'm sure, with the traffic. So everything that we've done for the future is going to be economically sound. It doesn't need to make sure that it's cheaper to do and more efficient.
Right. Just watching Mike go by and thinking, boy, it's just nice how easily he was able to maneuver, get down to an intersection, and I do a 180-degree turn and clean things up. So, thanks for the, you know, heading in that direction with our plowing. The other thing is, last night, the Friends of the Miners Park had their annual Candlelight Snowshoe, which is a really nice and very successful event. But during it, 3 ATVs came riding through the area that we were holding it, and one was digging way down and getting stuck. So I approached the guy that was driving it, and I said, you know, you're not supposed to be using ATVs now. You're supposed to be using snowmobiles. And he disagreed with me and said, no, I called public safety or the sheriff or whoever, and they said it was okay, and I said, no, it's not okay, and we have an ordinance that limits the dates, and it specifically is closed between December 1st and March 31st. So I feel like we need to advertise that a little bit better and get that word out.
Sure.
I was pretty disappointed, you know, that obviously not everyone's gonna know, but it's just a piece of information that's not widely known, and it is part of our law. And the reason it's part of our law is because the state has all their trails closed to ATVs during the same time period. So that's why we have that rule. And the other thing that he said was, and he was a nice guy, and it was not hostile, but he said, and this is all open, and he kind of motioned the whole park area. And so we still have a perception out there that, at least among some people, that they can pretty much ride wherever they want. So I've mentioned this in the past, and I'm hoping to get the support of a commissioner to modify our ordinance a little bit to say that motorized use is only allowed on city land where specified by the city commission. And that would eliminate all confusion. If we say this is where you can ride, that's where you can ride. And so I don't know if other commissioners are interested in that, but it's something I really feel like it's the last piece of all the ordinances that we've done in opening the streets and creating the routes to the Miners Park and the rest of it, is to provide that last piece of definition. So.
Is it something you were looking for action?
I've been trying to get this rolling for
Okay.
a year anyways.
Okay, good.
So I just bring it up every
Is that a topic you'd like to workshop? I mean, the educational part, we can get some information out to, you know, what the current, requirements are, but if you want to workshop the other topic at one of the next meetings?
I mean, only if other commissioners are interested, you know, I can't initiate this on my own, so.
Sure, I'm interested. And it's because it's a matter of respect.
It's a matter of
As long as, if there's an activity going, and it's a hike, or it's the Sisu Ski Fest, or it's the Snowmobile Olympus, whatever it is, people have to, those laws are there, and they have to respect those activities as they take place. So getting the information out will make people respect them, but it should also be brought to us because this respect means a lot for these activities to go forward smoothly.
I agree. And having definition makes everyone know what the rules are, and everyone understands what's allowed and what isn't. It makes it a lot simpler. So that's the reason that I keep on coming back to this last piece.
We could bring it back. I know it's been talked about off and on over the last year or two. You want to bring that back as a workshop topic? Again, we do have current guidance in the ordinance on what's allowable now. We can get that out to the public so they're aware of it.
Right.
If you want to talk about that, just as we go through what's allowed now, and if you have other ideas that you want to discuss as a commission.
Well, I've asked you about this in the past. Is it fair to say right now that the only places motorized people can go is on the motorized trail map? Is it illegal everywhere else? And is there a penalty if they do go in other places?
Again, depending on if it's snowmobile or ATV. Again, there are two different ordinance sections. That time of year is important, I guess, so people are aware of that. There are restrictions. Basically the roads are open to get to the trail or to a place of business is how we've looked at that. And then other areas, other public areas, that'd be other part of what we'd be talking about.
So I mean, is it unlawful for people to ride randomly around the Miners Park?
As it sits right now?
As it sits right now.
Well, my understanding is that's been defined recently, you know, on how to get through the park, and they're working on the larger master plan in that area, so that's kind of a work in progress. I guess I'd have to go back and review what's been passed in, you know, passed in the past, I guess.
Because I couldn't tell this person yet, no, it's illegal to ride, because I don't know if it is or not really.
Mm-hmm. That's what we could go over, what the current requirements are under current city ordinances, and then if you want to change something, modify it, you'd have that prerogative to, you know, have that discussion. So I think it'd be beneficial for all of us to re-review what's currently on the books, and then if you as a group want to look at making some adjustments to it. So.
Okay.
Would that be appropriate at the next meeting? We do have an open meeting. Second meeting in January, we do have a workshop scheduled to go over retirement benefits and MERS and some of those type of things. And that'll probably be consumed with that topic. But we do have an opening, you know, the next commission meeting, the first meeting in January. Do you want to take 45 minutes to go through this discussion in more detail?
I would like it.
Okay.
Okay. We'll get that set up then.
That's what I have.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, and I would just like to comment that reinforcing what Scott mentioned and all the wonderful events that make our community a better place, and they're all driven by amazing numbers and different groups of volunteers, and it strengthens our community. And last night, that candlelight walk, which 15 of my family members participated in, was just magical. And to hear our family members come back from areas like Chicago and Washington, D.C., and say, this is what makes Ironwood really cool and a special place. So, but it's not just one event. It's all these different pieces that come together. And as like I said, on the DIDA, we're working to even have more activities to make this the vibrant, wonderful community. It's already great, and just make it even better and a great place to live. So, and on that topic, does anybody know when the Christmas tree burn is scheduled?
It's usually the end of
January?
January.
Because
It's a
that's a
Saturday.
very unique activity as well.
Yeah, I know that's sponsored in part by the Nori Club.
Right.
They will be circulating through the city to collect trees. They've already got trees starting on a pile behind the Nori Club. And I know they usually have free hot dogs and hot chocolate for people, and it is pretty
That's a
pretty
very
cool event.
unique and fun event. January 30th, thank
Guess
you.
my phone's not as fast as yours. But yes.
Great. That's all I have. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Opposed? No. Motion, meeting adjourned, thank you.
I can't think.